guys, Brett Buckles here again. Now I'm here with Jayla and we're doing some front squats. Now I picked Jayla because Jayla is a women's physique competitor. She's nationally qualified, so she's gunning for a pro card. Now one of her biggest critiques is that she needs to develop her quads. Now the reason we picked the front squat is the front squat puts a lot more direct pressure on the quad, and it is good for mass building. Her glutes and hamstrings have always been really powerful. So doing just, we could just come in here and squat our brains out and just bust our butt and hope things work out. But instead, we kind of go the route of we work out on purpose, And so what we want to do is we want to intentionally direct our efforts towards the quad, developing the muscles she needs. Now, same with Shannon here. She's doing basically a different grip on the front squat, where she kind of has this underhanded grip, right? Well, same with Shannon. Shannon actually has some really good glute development, but she's also trying to develop more conditioning in her quads. And this would be the best way to kind of stimulate some, basically the outer swoop, which helps with that X frame we're looking for, the broad shoulders, the V taper, and then that outer swoop, it really helps develop that shape that we're really going for, especially for the competitors on stage. Now Amanda here, once again, she's also doing the front squat. Now the thing about Amanda, she's a lot leaner. She's a lot smaller, more petite female, and so you see how we use we're using that shirt there actually to kind of protect her upper body, because this thing can scratch you up pretty good when you're doing these front squats. It's not for the faint of heart. It can scratch up the shoulders. It's a lot of pressure on the shoulders and the upper chest. So if you don't have clothes or you don't have a lot of meat on your bones, you better take some precaution there so you don't get kind of some nasty battle wounds. And then right here, I have Chelsea, kind of same thing. Chelsea's using a much smaller bar. Now the other girls, they're using the 45-pound bars. Chelsea's using about a 30, I think it's like a 30, 35-pound bar there, because Chelsea, she's a bikini competitor. She's she's much smaller, and we're not trying to put like a ridiculous amount of pressure on her, because the truth be told, her frame is just not designed. Like, for example, let's say Jayla has a much bigger frame, really broad shoulders. She's also been in cheerleading for years and years and years and is used to lifting these girls over her head, whereas Chelsea, we're kind of adapting the movement more for her and her size, her shape, and what would be best suited to for her gains and her goals. Now here we have Susanna Sutton. Now Susanna is demonstrating what would be like the full, basically deep squat, right? Now Susanna actually is very powerful for being about 120 pounds. She squats over 250 pounds. We have some videos of it, in fact, if you guys want to see. And she can do that, a full deep squat. Now, one thing about Susanna and the same thing about Jayla is both of them are trying to build their legs up. They want bigger legs. They want stronger legs. They're competing in a different kind of division. So we go ahead and we go all out. We put the pressure on their back. We do a squat the same way we would do for basically a man. Now what I have Jayla doing right here is more of a 3/4 squat. Now why am I doing that? Because Jayla's trying to work her quad. She needs that quad development. So what I did is I kind of shortened the range of motion to put some more tension just in the direct area of the quad we're trying to develop, right? Because we want as much blood flow. We want to maximize as much blood flow to the quad in order to build Jayla's quads versus stimulating Jayla's hamstrings too much. Whereas Shannon, you see how I have Shannon in this low form right here? That's because I'm trying to develop Shannon's glutes, right? So we're putting all the pressure on Shannon's glutes, and we're pushing a ton of blood and nutrients into that muscle. And also mentally, she's visualizing that muscle contracting and working, and that's how she's going to develop the shape of that muscle. Now here where we have Emily. Now Emily, watch how she's going to go low, and then she's putting a lot of pressure right now on those glutes. Now she's going 3/4, so she's putting a lot of pressure on the quad. And then watch, she goes full. And now anyone who's ever tried that, if you want to know what a pump is, that will do basically tons and tons of blood will start filling those legs. Really good for shaping the muscle, for sculpting that muscle, right? And then what I have her do, jump squats, right? And now I'm literally just shocking those muscles. I'm putting as much blood, as much pressure as I can, but also the muscle doesn't know what rhythm or what it's doing here. It's going to basically in shock, because it wants to get comfortable. It wants to get a rhythm, Now, you see how Susanna laying on the back there, her legs up? If you've seen some of my other videos, it's kind of the same thing I do with arms or shoulders, is that I was preventing the blood from rushing to her legs. And so right now, as she got under that squat rack, the blood just started rushing to her legs. And then now, as she's squatting, even more blood is rushing to her legs, right? which is going to cause an insane pump that's going to hurt really bad. But at the same time, this is going to really stretch the fascia of her quads and really stretch the fascia even of her glutes and her hamstrings, which is going to develop the shape of those legs, really develop the roundness we're looking for. We really want to develop that round, pretty shape. Now, right here we have Emily doing what is, I kind of made this a makeshift where you see how I have her up high on those platforms. We do that in order for her to get the amount of depth she can get with that kettlebell. And what I a lot of times have them do is I have them do right here, look, a stiff-legged deadlift, then a deep squat, deadlift, deep squat. And this is a really great way to stimulate the hamstrings and also develop the inner thigh and glute unlike you can in any other exercise. So I hope some of these exercises work really well for you guys and they give you some, extra advantage in the gym.